Hey guys, this is Tashina from Logical Harmony, and today I'm going to be doing a foundation video. This video is going to focus on the 100% Pure Second Skin Foundation, and it's going to be part of potentially a new series here on Logical Harmony. So I'm sure you guys, just like myself, you're always on the hunt for a vegan foundation that works. You want it to be cruelty-free, you want it to be vegan, obviously, but there's so many different ones out there, and it can get really hard to tell which one is going to work for you. So I'm going to show this one today. I'm going to apply it in a couple different ways and then show you guys how it wears throughout the day on my skin. I do have combination dry skin, so if you have combination oily, you should actually go check out Rianne's channel. She has combination oily skin and she has a bunch of foundation videos too. So if you guys want to see how I apply this, my thoughts on it, and then see how it wears on my skin throughout the day, just keep watching this video. I'm going to start with the Luminous Primer from 100% Pure. I really like this one because it's moisturizing and hydrating. If you have oily skin, they do make a mattifying primer, but I haven't tried that. I know Rianne has thoughts about that, so she's definitely used it. Go check it out on her channel. And I find with this primer that a little bit goes a really long way, so you really just need one pump. And if you don't have dry skin, be careful with that pump because a full pump might be too much. It just feels so nice and smooth and hydrating. I like to let it dry a little bit before I add foundation. For my foundation today, I'm going to be using the 100% Pure Second Skin Foundation. This is in the shade Golden Peach, and they do have a fairly decent shade range of these. This is their newest foundation. I just think it's really nice. I've used it before, but you guys have never seen it on camera, so that's why I wanted to use it today. And what I'm going to do is apply it to half my face with a brush and then the other half with a beauty sponge so you guys can see the difference in application. And then when I decide which kind of looks better, I'll go over the face with that. So you want to make sure that you shake this really, really well before you use it. And what I have for sponges is the 100% Pure Makeup Sponge and then a Beauty Blender Pro. Sorry, they're both kind of dirty. I didn't have time to wash them, but I'm going to use this sponge first. I find that it does work really well with this foundation. And I'm just going to apply a single pump onto the top of my hand and use that to apply the product. I find that with this foundation, you really want to start small because you can easily build it up. So this is one pump, and as you can see, it's pretty liquidy, but it's not too bad. And I'm going to apply that directly with the sponge. So this half of my face is done, and I used the 100% Pure makeup sponge for that. I find that the two work really well together. This sponge it's much more dense in a beauty blender. I think if you're used to like a Real Technique sponge, you'll really like this one, but I find that it works really well with this product. And for the other side of my face, I'm going to use the Beauty and the Base brush from MOTD. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to apply one pump of the product to my hand and then apply it directly to my face with the brush. And now that this side of my face is done with a brush, I'm going to look at them a little more close up and see if I can see a difference between the two. I think already just in the monitor, I can see a difference around my eyes. But let me look at it close up and see. Overall, it's pretty similar. I will say, so I've had kind of a cold, and on the side with the brush, it clung to dry skin a little more than on the side with the makeup sponge. The coverage is a little more on the brush side versus the sponge side, but I think that this is just a really gorgeous foundation. It's very natural, and by second skin, it really does mean second skin. It looks just like your skin. So it doesn't look cakey, it doesn't settle into any of your pores or your fine lines or anything that you have going on. It just looks very natural. Just looking at my cheeks, which is where I tend to have the most like discoloration, the brush did cover a little bit better, but like I said, it also clung to my dry skin a little more on that side. So kind of pros and cons of each. So I would definitely test it and see what works for you on your skin. I'm gonna go back in and apply just a little bit more product to even this out, and I think I'm gonna do that with the brush because I just think this side has a little more coverage. And I'm only gonna apply it on the areas that I feel like need the extra coverage. Moving on from the foundation, I'm going to apply the rest of my face makeup and then let you guys know how it sit with everything. So I'm going to be using the Second Skin Concealer from 100% Pure. This is in the shade White Peach. And again, this is one that I've also used before and really liked. I know I have used this on camera and I really liked it too. Might actually be a little too dark for me right now. And I think I'm going to use the Beauty Blender to blend this out just because I know it applies really well and I don't want to mess up since I put the foundation on with the brush. I don't want to irritate that at all. So foundation wise, as far as setting goes, I feel like this is one that you could set it or you could not set it. It's gonna dry on its own and look fine. But I personally do like to set my foundation so that they last a little bit longer. And to set today, I'm going to be using the finishing powder from Au Naturel. This is one of my favorites and I've used it with this foundation before and it worked really well together. So I'm going to be using this and the MOTD Set and Go brush. For contour today, I'm going to go in with the Lily Lolo Sculpt and Glow Contour Duo. I'm gonna use this lightest shade under my eyes and on the high points of my face, and then the contour shade where I contour. For contouring, I'm going to be using the Supermodel Sculpt from MOTD, and for highlighting, I am going to be using a Real Techniques brush. The brush I usually use from MOTD is really dirty right now. And for blush, I'm going to be using the Afterglow shade from the Pretty Naked 2 palette from 100% Pure. It's just a really pretty blush. It's a little on the darker side compared to, I forget what shade's in Pretty Naked, but I like this one for the winter especially. I'm gonna do another check now that I've applied most of my face products. So I think that they all blend really well. I purposely did pick more natural products because I find that they do work better with this foundation. I'm going to go in and highlight today, and I'm actually going to be using the brand new Glow Kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I just got this morning and I needed to throw it into a video. I am going to use the shade, I think White Sand, and highlight my cheekbones. I'm going to use a different Real Techniques brush for that. It's the same one. I have no idea which one this actually is, but I do really like this one for multi-purpose. It works great for highlighting and contouring. Dang. You guys see that? That's ridiculous. And just glow, 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 glow. So now my face is pretty much done. I just want to do another check since I applied all that product. It has been 15 minutes since I first applied foundation, so not too long, but I do want to see how it's doing so far. I do have a little bit of creasing right here. It's nothing terrible. I probably just need to add a little more setting powder right there and that would help. I mean, it's only been 15 minutes. Everything looks good. Everything blended in really well. None of it seems to be sitting weird with the foundation or making it patchy or strange. So I'm just gonna add a little more setting powder where I feel like I'm creasing a little bit. I am going to finish the rest of this look for a different video, and then I will come back and give you guys an update on how the foundation is wearing once I'm fully done applying all of my makeup. This is my check-in with the 100% Pure Second Skin Foundation. I went ahead and finished up my other makeup. It's been about an hour since I first put this on, so I just wanted to do a quick check-in and give you guys an update on how it's looking. It's still looking really nice. It's not settling now that I added that extra powder. It's not settling in anywhere. It's not accentuating my pores. Everything else still looks nice on top of it. It's not at all cakey. It just looks very, very natural. Show you guys close-ups of my cheeks a little bit so you can see I don't have any pores showing. I don't see any texture, maybe a little where the highlighter is, but I feel like that's pretty normal. It also isn't oxidizing at all. The color has not changed, and I think that's really awesome. It does have kind of a satin finish, which I like. On some skin, that may make you look a little oily. I feel like it is a little more glowy than it was when I first applied it. So if you have oily skin, maybe carry some blotting papers with you. So I'm gonna go ahead and film a few more videos and do some things around the house, and I will film another check-in later on today. So I am back for my final check-in today. We're gonna leave and go out to dinner with some friends, but I've had this on for 5-6 hours. So it's been enough time that if I was gonna have issues, I feel like I would see them already. So I did wanna do my check-in and let you guys know. It looks pretty much the same as it did when I applied it. I don't know if you guys can see any difference. I feel like if anything, it's maybe absorbed my blush a tiny bit, but that's nothing I'm worried about. I do have a little bit of creasing here, but that's pretty normal, especially because I've been filming today, so I've been talking a lot and doing that, so it makes total sense that there'd be a little bit of creasing there. On my pores, it looks fine. It isn't any more dewy than it was before, so I think that's good to know. It looks good. It still looks like skin, and that's something I've noticed about this foundation before, but I've never really paid attention of like tracking it to see how it wears over time. It is clinging a little bit to the dry spots on my nose just because, like I mentioned, I have had a cold, so I've been blowing my nose a lot lately, but I would expect that from any foundation. And it's rubbing off a little bit right here, but this is like the one spot on my face where I do tend to get oily, so that's totally normal. And it's not like patchy coverage, it's just not as much coverage as it was earlier, so I might touch that up before we go out. But I feel like it's probably only something I see because I'm looking for it. I think if I wasn't looking for it, I wouldn't notice. That is this foundation after 5-6 hours of wear. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I hope that you liked this video on the 100% Pure Second Skin Foundation. If you want to see more videos like this, leave a comment and let me know. And if you've used this foundation, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So also leave a comment, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you later.